Get ready because the news cycle is absolutely exploding, and we've got the inside scoop you cannot afford to miss. This is Amazon Insights, where we break down the biggest stories hitting your screens. From Hollywood shockwaves to real-world drama and the future of advertising, buckle up, because we're diving deep into the headlines that are shaping our world right now. We've got exclusive takes and the details you need to stay ahead. So, what's making waves today? Let's find out. First up, a cinematic disaster is sparking some serious questions about how it landed on our screens, with a surprising defense from the production team about some very noticeable corporate branding. Did they see it coming, or was it a total accident? We're getting to the bottom of it. Then, a critical update from the world of logistics and security. A major incident at an Amazon facility has led to a manhunt and a swift arrest, and we're bringing you the latest on this developing situation. What led to this tragic event, and where does the investigation stand now? We've got the crucial details. And speaking of developments, we're also tracking the aftermath and official announcements regarding that same incident. Get the latest from law enforcement and understand the charges being laid. It's a story that highlights the importance of swift justice and thorough investigation. Finally, shifting gears to the massive world of media deals, we're breaking down the latest financial maneuvers in the advertising space. How are major players making their moves, and what does this mean for the future of how we consume content? We're dissecting the numbers and the strategies that are setting trends. Plus, we've got a lightning round recap of all the top stories and a massive call to action for you. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to Amazon Insights, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's get into it. Hollywood's latest flop sparks product placement debate. A cinematic adaptation of a classic tale has landed with a thud, garnering a dismal 2% on Rotten Tomatoes and drawing sharp criticism for what many are calling egregious, in-your-face product placement, particularly for Amazon. The film, which features an Amazon air delivery drone as a pivotal element in its plot, has left audiences and critics questioning the creative decisions behind its integration of corporate branding. However, in a surprising turn of events, one of the film's producers has stepped forward to address these concerns, asserting that the prominent Amazon presence was not a deliberate marketing ploy. According to producer Patrick Aiello, the production team had a different distributor in mind, stating, "Amazon didn't see it until the movie was all the way done. We never intended for Amazon to release the movie. We always thought Universal was going to release the movie theatrically." This revelation casts a new light on the film's controversial branding, suggesting a potential disconnect between the filmmaker's original vision and the eventual distribution platform. The producer elaborated on the reasoning behind the ubiquitous Amazon references, explaining that during the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic, Amazon drivers, along with those from FedEx and UPS, were hailed as unsung heroes for their critical role in delivering essential goods when people were unable to shop for themselves. The decision to feature Mark, the son-in-law character played by Devin Bostick, as an Amazon driver was intended to represent these everyday heroes and make his presence universally recognizable. Similarly, the inclusion of Amazon and Prime logos on delivery vans was meant to ensure the vehicles stood out and symbolized an important societal service. The film's unique screen life format, where all action unfolds on digital screens, presented its own set of challenges. Editor Charles Ansell noted that adding the Prime Air overlay to the Amazon drone was necessary for clarity, especially when multiple drones were involved, to avoid confusion for the audience. Despite these explanations, the film's critical reception remains overwhelmingly negative, with the heavy product placement being a significant point of contention. The film is currently available for streaming on Amazon Prime Video, leaving viewers to debate whether the integration of Amazon's services was a stroke of unfortunate coincidence or a narrative misstep. Audience reaction has been a mix of bewilderment and amusement, with many taking to social media to discuss the film's overt commercialism. Critics, while acknowledging the producer's explanation, remain skeptical about the lack of foresight regarding such prominent branding. But the story behind this cinematic misfire is far from over. Next, we're shifting our focus to a serious incident that unfolded at an Amazon facility, bringing you the latest on a manhunt and arrest. Tragedy strikes Amazon warehouse, suspect apprehended. Authorities have announced a significant development in the investigation into a fatal shooting that occurred outside the Amazon Fulfillment Center Rock 1 on Manitou Road earlier this year. Marquis Ortiz-Harris, a 24-year-old employee at the facility, was tragically killed on the night of July 24th. According to Gates Police Chief Rob Long, Ortiz-Harris was sitting in his vehicle, awaiting the start of his shift, when Luis Ortiz-Vega, 28, approached him and opened fire. Ortiz-Harris was transported to a local hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. The incident sent shockwaves through the community and the Amazon workforce, with colleagues remembering Ortiz-Harris as a great person. Following the shooting, Ortiz-Vega fled the state, initiating a widespread manhunt. Law enforcement agencies, including the U.S. Marshals Service, collaborated to track down the suspect. The break in the case came when members of the U.S. Marshals Service spotted Ortiz-Vega getting into a car in the city. He was subsequently taken into custody during a traffic stop. Chief Long stated that Ortiz-Vega has been charged with second-degree murder and is currently being held as he awaits arraignment. Investigators have determined that the shooting was a targeted attack, stemming from a prior argument between the victim and the suspect. It has been clarified that Ortiz-Vega was not an employee of the fulfillment center, indicating a personal motive for the violence. The swift apprehension of Ortiz-Vega, after he had fled the state, is a testament to the coordinated efforts of multiple law enforcement agencies. The case underscores the ongoing efforts to ensure public safety and bring perpetrators of violent crimes to justice. The community is still processing the loss of Ortiz-Harris, and the focus now shifts to the legal proceedings against Ortiz-Vega. This arrest has brought a measure of closure to the victim's family and colleagues, though the investigation into the full circumstances of the motive continues. But the developments in this case are still unfolding. We're now turning our attention to the official announcements from the police regarding this same incident. Arrest made in fatal Amazon facility shooting. Gates Police have officially announced an arrest in connection with the fatal shooting that took place last month in the parking lot of an Amazon distribution facility. Luis Ortiz-Vega, a 28-year-old resident of Rochester, was taken into custody on Wednesday night and subsequently arraigned on Thursday morning, facing a charge of second-degree murder. Investigators have confirmed that the victim, 24-year-old Marquis Ortiz-Harris, who was an employee at the Amazon facility, was deliberately targeted. According to police reports, Ortiz-Harris was seated in his vehicle, preparing to begin his work shift when Ortiz-Vega approached him. An altercation ensued, which tragically resulted in Ortiz-Harris being shot. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Gates Police Chief Rob Long provided further details, emphasizing that the suspect, Ortiz-Vega, was not an employee of Amazon and had a pre-existing conflict with the victim. He was not an Amazon worker. He knew the victim. They had some sort of beef that had started prior to this, and the suspect sought out the victim, Chief Long stated. Authorities are continuing to investigate whether Ortiz-Vega was waiting for Ortiz-Harris at the location or if he followed him there, leading to the confrontation in the parking lot. Following the incident, Ortiz-Vega fled the state, prompting a joint effort between local law enforcement and the U.S. Marshals Service to locate him. His return to the Rochester area led to him being spotted by members of the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force as he entered a vehicle on Wednesday. A coordinated traffic stop, involving the U.S. Marshals, State Police, and the Rochester Police Department, resulted in Ortiz-Vega's arrest without incident. The swift apprehension and subsequent charges mark a significant step in the investigation, aiming to provide justice for the victim and his family. This arrest brings a crucial phase of the investigation to a close, with legal proceedings now set to commence. Now, let's pivot to the dynamic world of advertising and media. We're examining the significant financial deals being struck in the industry and what they mean for the future. Amazon Ads seals upfront TV deals with significant growth. Amazon Ads has successfully concluded its upfront television advertising deal-making for the upcoming season, reporting significant growth in its commitments. The company, which manages advertising for its various platforms including Prime Video, Freevee, Twitch, and Fire TV, did not disclose specific figures regarding volume, pricing increases, or new brand partnerships. However, industry analysts are projecting substantial revenue gains. Michael Morton, a media analyst at MoffettNathanson Research, estimates that Amazon's upfront revenues could surge by 30% year-over-year, reaching approximately $1.8 billion. This growth is largely attributed to strong performance in its Prime Video and Freevee platforms. Analysts also anticipate that pricing for non-NFL programming on Prime Video will remain in the $20.30 cost per thousand viewers (CPM) range. This is noteworthy considering that Media Dynamics estimates premium streaming platforms, on average, will experience a 7.6% decline in CPMs for the 2025-26 TV season, settling around $27.25. Amazon's entry into the advertising market for Prime Video in January 2024 has introduced a significant volume of new advertising inventory. While this has historically put downward pressure on overall CPMs across the streaming landscape, Amazon's ability to secure substantial upfront deals indicates strong advertiser demand for its premium content and audience reach. Looking ahead, Morton projects that Amazon's upfront business for Prime Video and Freevee will see a further increase of 22% in 2026, potentially reaching $2.1 billion. Amazon itself expressed satisfaction with the results, stating that they exceeded our own expectations in upfront commitments compared to the previous year, and highlighted particularly strong commitments from independent media agencies. The company's strategic expansion into live sports content, notably the upcoming NBA on Prime contract, is expected to drive further incremental volume growth for its advertising business. These developments underscore Amazon's growing influence in the digital advertising sphere, leveraging its diverse platforms and expanding content library to attract major brand investments. The overall advertising revenue for all Amazon ad platforms reached $56.2 billion in 2024, an increase from $46.9 billion in 2023. These robust upfront deals signal a strong advertiser confidence in Amazon's streaming platforms and their ability to deliver engaged audiences. Stay tuned for more insights into the evolving media landscape. We've covered a lot today, but we're not done yet. And that's a wrap on another packed edition of Amazon Insights. We've seen a film's producer defend its controversial product placement, learned about a swift arrest in a tragic warehouse incident, and explored the booming world of Amazon's advertising deals. Don't miss out on any of our future deep dives. Hit that like button if you found this valuable, subscribe to Amazon Insights for more essential updates, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop new content. Plus, let us know your thoughts in the comments below and follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected. We'll see you next time.